There are lots of carbon-related terms used in the industry now, and it can be confusing to understand what each of them means. In this video, we will explain the differences between two common carbon-related phrases, a carbon audit and carbon credits. A carbon audit is a desk-based exercise that uses 12 months of data from your farming business to calculate the amount of greenhouse gas emissions that your farm produces relative to the amount of output that your farm produces. The results that your carbon audit will produce will vary depending on the carbon calculator tool that you are using, but usually will give you a whole farm emissions figure as well as a figure that is specific to each enterprise and each product that you produce. The carbon audit uses a combination of your farm's data and current scientific data to make assumptions about the amount of carbon associated with production on your farm. In contrast, rather than being a measure of emissions, a carbon credit is a measure of a quantity of carbon, with one carbon credit equating to 1 tonne of carbon that is either sequestered or is prevented from being emitted. This must be additional to what would have otherwise occurred, and investment must be essential for the project to proceed. Carbon credits are the unit by which carbon is bought and sold within carbon markets. This trading takes place through an established and verified market of the Woodland Carbon Code or the Peatland Code. It is an individual decision for farmers, crofters and land managers as to whether they want to sell their carbon credits to individuals and companies looking to offset emissions, rather than keeping those credits for their own businesses. Carbon markets are still relatively new, and other markets do exist or are emerging, such as soil carbon, hedges, agroforestry and biodiversity. To summarise, a carbon audit measures the greenhouse gases produced by your farm relative to the output from your farm, whereas a carbon credit is a measure of quantity that you have available to trade and market. A carbon audit is a form of business review that may be required in the future for securing funding, supply chain contracts, and will also be a requirement for subsidy going forward.